My name is Ben Knowles from East Coast Yacht Sales, and in this video we're going to be sending the 45 Axopar through its paces. What I'm particularly excited about for this video is I have over 400 hours on the Axopar 37, a spectacular boat. I love the 37 Axopar, and this 45 is just a whole nother level above and beyond the 37. So I'm excited to show you and share with you my feelings on what it's like to be behind the wheel of a 45 Axopar. Let's go. So we're in open water right now. It is a flat, calm, beautiful day in Casco Bay up in Maine. It's very interesting to me because looking forward on the 45, it's not super obvious that this boat is materially different from behind the wheel perspective. But immediately when you look back, it's like, whoa, there is so much boat back there. It's amazing. The size of this Pilothouse, the size of the protected space that you have for you and your guests on the 45 is astronomically larger. You can have many more people in the cabin, in the protection of the cabin on board this boat. And of course, because she's so much longer, not only does she have one opening moonroof, which I love mine on the 37, you've got two of these things just because this thing is so long. But yeah, we're gonna just start get underway here. I'm gonna throttle up and let's send her through her paces here. In typical Axopar form, you know, on this 45, there's like minimal bow rise. So there is no level of speed at which you lose the horizon in the slightest. We're just doing 15 knots. I'm doing a very slow throttle up, which is very interesting when you're sea trialing boats, because sometimes when you sea trialing boats, a lot of guys will just like punch it to get onto a plane, because you've got this like mid-range, super awkward feel for most outboard boats, and you never have that awkward bow rise section of the run. So this is very typical Axopar. It is so fun. All right, so we're just gonna get onto a plane and we're gonna get to what I think is, for most of these Axopars, what I like to cruise at, you know, anywhere around 30 knots I think is lovely from a cruising perspective. So we're at 29 knots right now. Got a wonderful breeze coming through here, and we're headed offshore in Casco Bay, and you've got these ocean rollers just coming in, and you feel the extra length of waterline compared to the 37. You know, waterline is helps just smooth out a boat, and so the longer the waterline that you have, the smoother the ride. So you clearly have a lot of boat underneath your feet here on the 45. And I always like opening up the moonroofs personally. I think the moonroofs, they let so much natural ventilation coming into the boat. And so when you open up the moonroof, what I find myself doing a fair amount, even, you know, it's 85 degrees here today. It's not what I would call a cool day. And even so, when you have this boat, I like to have the doors closed, because it just silences the Pilothouse. You can have a normal conversation at 30 knots, headed offshore on a beautiful day, and it is so sweet. So at 30 knots, we're getting about 0.7 nautical miles per gallon. And mind you, that's nautical miles per gallon, not miles per gallon. Whenever people are talking not miles per gallon, they're absolutely cheating, because it makes it seem more fuel efficient. But 30 knots, you're getting 0.7 to 0.75 nautical miles per gallon. You just feel like you're on this magic carpet just floating over these rollers. It is just amazing what this boat can do. And it does not feel intimidating, you know, because you have easy access to the side decks here. The boat just feels so good. One of the things I love about the drivability aspect of the Axopar is how little input you actually need to make the boat run right. You don't need to have the engines trimmed all the way down, then trim the engines up to make it run right. You don't need to have the trim tabs maxed down to get up onto a plane. When you are running and accelerating this boat, You do not need any extra equipment to have the boat come up onto a plane nice and even and smoothly. And there are many boats out there that have all these systems to sort of accommodate for some shortcomings on the design aspects. And you know, the Axopar is such a beautifully engineered boat, and it really does not require any extra automatic equipment to make the boat run right. And I just really appreciate that level of engineering on a boat. Because of the extra waterline, the boat just feels so good. We're doing 28 knots and it is very comfortable in here. By no means does it feel like we're pushing it or anything. You know, this is very comfortable at this speed with these slight ocean rollers, and it is just so much fun. You can just carry so much speed as a result of the extra waterline and the super narrow bow entry that you have on a 45 Axopar, just because the boat just slices through these rollers and just like keeps on going without skipping a beat. It just feels so good. And with the fuel economy of burning around 0.75, 0.7 nautical miles per gallon with the 10% fuel reserve, you've got about a 240 nautical mile range on the boat. So for us, that's leaving Portland, Maine and going to roughly, Stonington, Connecticut, New London, Connecticut, something like that, in a single run. So you've got a good solid range on the boat to take you pretty far for further away adventures. And because you can carry your speed through bigger wave sets, you can get there faster, more reliably, and more comfortably as well. I don't know of any other 45-foot boats that offer this much ride comfort. It is so quiet in here. You can have a bunch of people on board the boat lounging on those longer runs as well. It just makes those longer days go by so much faster. Also, what you have with the Axopar 45 is their incredible running angle at speed as well. The running angle, when you look at an Axopar underway, the stance of the boat is super unique. The boat just maintains at this nice, relatively level angle. It just looks so pronounced and stout while underway and super capable. You know, with these boats where they have this bow rise and that you've got this big bow kind of up in the air, Axopar, the running attitude is much more of a bow down running attitude, allowing that waterline to be further increased because most of the boats in the water, creating a nice smooth ride, allowing that very sharp bow entry in the water as well, slicing through those waves. And it's just such a pleasure to watch these boats run through the water. You know, aesthetics, that's personal, but you cannot deny the running attitude of the Axopar. It is a beautiful looking boat while underway. I hope you learned something in this video about the running characteristics about the Axopar 45. If you have any questions for us, please do feel free to reach out using the information below this video.